So I have 5 Christmas movies to talk about in this video. Briefly, I want to talk about A Merry Little Xmas because I watched it again. This movie is really good. I think it's really solid, especially when you compare it to other Christmas movies. It's great, but even on its own, it's great. And this time around, I just thought it was so charming and really well done. I feel like in terms of the writing, the directing, the performances, the editing, you could tell the effort that was put into this movie. It's really funny, charming, and emotional, and a good combination of all those elements. And I just feel like it's really well put together. Like, for example, there's this scene, spoiler alert, towards the end of the movie where the ex-husband Everett comes over to the house and he's spending time with his ex-wife and his 2 children. And he says, "Oh, I'm here to read the family scrapbook. It's a family tradition." And he starts to read it, and then the scene ends, and it cuts to him getting ready to leave. You get the gist of the scene. It's economical, it's concise, and the pacing of the movie is really good. So I highly recommend A Merry Little Xmas. Next up is a little bit of a cheat, but it's Everybody's Fine. We started this up, and I thought it might be a recent movie. I looked it up. It's from 2009. It's an American drama film written and directed by Kirk Jones. So here's the gist. Robert De Niro plays an older man, 60s, 70s maybe, and he's dealing with the aftermath of his wife of many years passing away. And he's dealing with that along with his 4 children that live all across the country. So right before Christmas, they all, like one by one, call him and cancel because they're all supposed to gather for Christmas for the holiday, all be together, which is rare for them. And they all call him and they're like, I'm too busy, I can't make it, I just can't. So he decides that he's going to visit all of his kids one by one, but he's not well health-wise. So he decides to take like buses and stuff all across the country. So he goes to his first kid who's not there. He doesn't answer, David, and he's like, "Oh, that's weird." So he goes to the next kid, and so he takes the bus all to meet his kids, and realistically they're all kind of disappointing. And I say that because he goes to his daughter's house, played by Kate Beckinsale. She looks like she's doing well, and she's married and has a kid. But later it turns out that she's having marital problems. The husband's not living with her. Robert De Niro goes to the next kid, Sam Rockwell. De Niro thinks that he's like this big conductor of like an orchestra. And it turns out he's just a percussionist, which is funny to me because I am a failed drummer myself. Sam Rockwell's like, "Look, Dad, I don't know what to tell you. I love my life. I'm enjoying my life. I tried to do the conducting thing. It didn't work out." And then he goes to the next kid, played by Drew Barrymore. And she's supposed to be this big, successful dancer in Las Vegas. And it's a little confusing because she shows him this apartment, and it's like not hers. It's not really explained, but it turns out that she has a baby, and she doesn't tell De Niro, her dad. So obviously she couldn't continue on dancing, so she works at a restaurant. Slowly they kind of reveal throughout the movie that there's something going on with David, and they give you hints, and eventually it's revealed that David was getting into trouble and he was having a really hard time with the passing of his mom. So he ends up in Mexico doing drugs, and then, spoiler alert, by the end of the movie it's revealed that he has passed. All the kids canceled for Christmas because they're all trying to kind of figure out what happened to David. The thing I didn't like about the movie is that it's really schmaltzy, really heavy-handed. At the beginning of the movie, they reveal that De Niro worked for many, many years putting like PVC coating on these telephone wires. So every time he calls his kids, they zoom into these telephone wires, and it's like, we get it, we got it. It's solid, it's emotional. It's not really a Christmas movie. I would say this is Christmas movie adjacent because at the beginning they're getting ready for Christmas and then it cancels. And then at the end there's like maybe 2 to 3 minutes of a Christmas scene, but it's fine. But they should rename the movie to Everybody's Fucked because all their lives are fucked. And they're really kind of accepting how fucked up their lives are. Don't get me wrong, they are fine, but also they're kind of fucked. You're just accepting how disappointing all of the kids' lives are, which, I don't know, maybe that's life. De Niro is great in it. He's always great, but he's really good. Next up, I watched a lot like Christmas, which on my short letterboxd review I said, this movie does not have a Wikipedia page, rightfully so. This is not a great Christmas movie. Well, it stars Maggie Lawson, who's the only one I recognized in the whole thing. Maggie Lawson plays this girl from a small town, and she has a brother and a mother, and her father recently passed. So they have this family business where they own and work on a Christmas tree farm. So they sell Christmas trees. And then there's this rich guy from Manhattan comes in, and he works for a competitor, like a chain. He's like head of marketing for a chain Christmas tree store. So he moves in to the town trying to bring income and money and jobs to the town, but it's going to ultimately hurt Maggie Lawson and her family's business. So they meet, and then it's one of those like, oh, I had no idea you were working for the enemy, blah, blah, blah. Hilarity and adventure ensue. And at the end, blah, blah, blah. You can probably tell. It's not great. The movie kind of sort of won me over by the end. I really like Maggie Lawson, especially from Psych. And I also like Marley Collins, who I'd never heard of or seen before. She was great. At the end of the movie, there's this really bad, cheesy dialogue where the guy is like, I didn't accept that promotion. You've showed me the magic of what I can find here. I've decided to move here. And there's nothing about his voice, his face, his body language, the way he dresses, his vibe, his aura, nothing about him that says he's going to stay in this town. It just feels like the second camera's cut, he's going to zip back to Manhattan and leave her forever. Not great, but I like Maggie Lawson and Marley Collins. Speaking of Marley Collins, how about that segue? I watched Just Like a Christmas Movie, which also doesn't have a Wikipedia page. This is kind of a weird movie. Marley Collins plays this girl who is a workaholic, and she's trying to get this promotion. This lady who I thought was her sister, but I think it's just her coworker and best friend, she's obsessed with Christmas movies. Marley Collins hates Christmas. Am I getting shorter? So Marley Collins goes to the airport because she's going to Bali for Christmas to escape all the Christmasness of Christmas. She just wants to be on an island in the sun. And she ends up getting trapped in a Christmas movie. Oh no! Kind of a weird premise. It's a movie within a movie. So they're trying to play with all those tropes. She meets a guy, and him and his family are really into Christmas, and they're putting on this Christmas fair. Santa Claus comes in, and he's really creepy in this movie. He just keeps showing up in the house where she is. This could have worked better as a horror movie. That's why horror movies are more realistic than Christmas romantic comedy movies. And so she's like, okay, I'm gonna be stuck here and until I find my Christmas spirit. Okay. So she tries to force herself to get the Christmas spirit. And then by the end of the movie, she, believe it or not, she finds her Christmas spirit. She ends up falling for this guy. It's not a great movie. It's kind of a weird movie, but Marley Collins gives 110%. I liked her a lot in the movie. She's the only one I recognized and the only one I liked in this movie. And finally, the bottom of the barrel, I watched My Secret Santa. Here's the thing, this is what I'm talking about. Why does My Secret Santa, the worst out of all these movies, why does this get a nice fancy Wikipedia page? It has a handful of stars in it. It's only on Netflix, so this is a Netflix movie, and this was the worst out of all of these. If you're gonna give My Secret Santa a Wikipedia page, you might as well give one to Just Like a Christmas Movie and A Lot Like Christmas, which I enjoyed those two movies more than My Secret Santa. My Secret Santa, the gist of it, oh my god. They might as well have called this Christmas's Doubtfire, because it's Christmas Mrs. Doubtfire. You got Alexandra Breckenridge, who was good in the movie. I like her. I only know her from The Walking Dead. Spoiler alert, I think she gets killed off pretty quickly. She plays this mom who's taking care of a young daughter who's 15, and she's on the outs. She gets fired from her job right before Christmas, and then she gets home and the daughter's like, I'm so excited. I just got accepted to this snowboarding academy, and it's really expensive. She goes over to her brother's house. There's this guy who keeps showing up with the brother. They don't really explain who he is. I think that's the brother's boyfriend. I'm not sure. And lo and behold, the brother is really into horror movies, and he's making Halloween masks, horror masks. And the brother's boyfriend says, hey, look, 50% off of the academy for Sun Peak's employees. So Alexandra Breckenridge goes to the Sun Peaks Lodge Hotel, and she's like, I'll do anything to be an employee. I'll clean, I'll do anything. Da, 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 da. And they're like, we don't really have any openings. Well, sister, one of them comes in, Tia Mowry, and she's on the phone. She's like, it pays $2,000 a week, and it's to be the Santa. So they talk, and it turns out they're looking for a Santa Claus. And Tia Mowry's like, we don't have any openings unless you can play an old man. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Wow. So Alexandra Breckenridge goes to see her brother, is like, can you help me dress like Santa? I think you know where this is going. Alexandra, she meets Ryan Eggold. This is why I was excited to watch this movie. Ryan Eggold, my wife and I watched 4 seasons of New Amsterdam, and we enjoyed it. And Ryan Eggold is really good in that show. And it's like, hey, 2025, Ryan Eggold's in a Christmas rom-com. And I was excited. Like, I kind of put this off to save this to watch with my wife. And we watch it, and Ryan Eggold is not good in this movie. And there is no variance at all to his performance than on New Amsterdam. Not that you need to have variance in your performance, but it's a new setting, it's a new movie, it's not New Amsterdam. We were like, oh, let's see how he acts in a different setting. And it's exactly the same. And I think he was miscast because there's this one scene where Ryan Eggold plays the son of the owner of Sun Peaks Lodge. All right. So there's this scene where Ryan Eggold's character is supposed to be, he's like a trust fund baby, but he's like screwing up. It just doesn't work. There's nothing about his character that oozes this rich fuck up, you know? He's kind of like stuttering throughout. He's almost kind of like nerdy and nervous and anxious. It just didn't work. And if you want a great Christmas movie, check out Merry Little Xmas. Watch that movie, study that movie. And then if you want to learn from a bad Christmas movie, check out My Secret Santa. I blame the writing. The writing was really bad because the actors are, you know, they're doing what they're doing. They're trying their best, kind of, I guess. But the writing was just, there's nothing there. The premise is Mrs. Doubtfire, and it's so thin, and there's not a lot of good moments in there. This is truly bottom of the barrel Christmas movie stuff. And it sucks because Merry Little Xmas proves that you can have, with the right effort, you can make a good, solid, funny, emotional Christmas movie in 2025. There's so many low effort projects, such as My Secret Santa, and it's a Netflix movie. They have the budget. Maybe this was rushed out, but they have the money, the time to put together a good project, write a good project, direct, edit, perform. And this one just, I thought was really bad. And I'm like, this movie's not really for kids, and I as an adult did not enjoy this. So who is this movie for? Like, is it for the hopeless romantics who want a romantic Christmas movie? Well, I didn't enjoy it. And I think Merry Little Xmas was a Netflix movie too. So they're both made by Netflix, and you have one really good one and one awful one. There's not a lot of laughs in this movie. I thought there was not a lot of heart. It was a weird premise. It just wasn't a good movie. The one good thing about the movie, I will say, is Alexandra Breckenridge. I liked her in the movie. She's good in the movie, but it's not enough to save the movie. So that's all I have for this video. I think I am getting shorter. Happy holidays. Take care of yourselves and each other. Let me know what are some of the movies you have watched lately. Are they good? Are they bad? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Say hi to your pets for me.